How is Operation Warp Speed and shutting down the country making America great?
It's the only way. If you want to save America, it's the only way.
The only way.
Only way.
Okay. If you want to save America, you're going to vote for Donald John Trump.
Biden and Harris have tanked this country and advocated socialist, evil, sinful policies like transgender, that a girl can become a boy. They're godless. They hiked inflation.
He called himself the father of the vaccine. Do you support that?
I would think Trump is if you got to go with if you consider it a lesser of two evils, go with Trump. Please, to God, go with Trump.
Donald Trump just said 3 times in the last 4 months that he wants to put people in jail for 12 months for burning the flag.
Off on it because
no, he didn't.
I heard him say,
no, he didn't.
He said, I don't think I can do that.
Yeah, he said, I don't think, but he wants to. He wants to. That's the heart of a tyrant.
You know, sometimes I'd like to shut him up because he says too much.
So basically, Trump can have these ideas that are absolutely antithetical to the Second Amendment and the Constitution, and people will still vote for him. That's what's wrong with America.
Everybody in this line is voting for Trump.
Well, I'm wondering
why do you think not?
Wait, what'd you just say? You want to go with the devil you know? That's like voting for the lesser of two evils.
So what do? We just
You got to vote for Trump. They're literally admitting they're voting for the devil. They're voting for evil, and they're still going to vote. This is and they're admitting it. They know they're doing it. This is beyond cognitive dissonance.
Okay, here's another interesting installment of our fascinating conversations we had with diehard Trump supporters at his Gas South Arena rally in Duluth, Georgia. Buckle in, because it's about to get very, very interesting.
Did you want to talk?
We're for religious freedom. That's our basic thing.
You're for religious freedom?
Yes.
So you're single issue voters? Nothing else matters?
Yeah, we want to make America great too. But
how do we make America get?
Let's just say before it was great. 4 years when he was in office for the 4 years, it was fine.
How is Operation Warp Speed and shutting down the country making America great?
That was towards the end. That was not.
But he still takes credit for shutting down the country and for bringing the vaccines online faster than Fauci would have.
Okay.
Are you for the vaccines?
No, I'm not.
No? How are you for Trump when people are today because of the...
If he hadn't brought the vaccines,
don't mean that you are.
If he hadn't brought the vaccines, he would have been back. It would have been wrong. But if he brought the vaccines, it was wrong. Regardless, you're going to think he's wrong.
I support truth. I agree with...
You want for truth?
I agree. Huh?
I'll answer anything you want.
Okay.
I've done my homework.
Okay. Who is actually in control of America? Who's in control of the monetary supply and fiscal policy?
What do you mean?
The Federal Reserve. It's clear.
Federal Reserve. So what's that have to do?
So whether Donald Trump wins or Kamala Harris wins, does the Federal Reserve go anywhere?
Trump could see to that. He could do something.
He did in the first 4 years, and he doesn't plan on it. He just said he's going to work with Jerome Powell.
I don't agree with that. What I agree with is that the last 4 years, Biden and Harris have tanked this country and advocated socialist, evil, sinful policies like transgender, that a girl can become a boy. They're godless. They hiked inflation. They also let the border be wide open by an executive order, and that BS that says if we would have passed that legislation, it would have been closed. You didn't need that legislation. He opened it with an executive order and could have closed it with an executive order.
You're singing to the choir because Biden is evil and Kamala is evil.
And Trump is not.
I mean, purely evil.
They lied about him 20 times.
So
everybody says the fraud issue has been decided. You're ignorant. I'm a lawyer.
I think
the fraud issue has not been decided. Most courts dismissed on procedural grounds. They never got to.
Yeah, that's not an issue for me. The big issue is he called himself the father of the vaccine. Do you support that?
He did the vaccine because people wanted it. No, I didn't want the vaccine. You would have had to tie me down to get it. But he wasn't forcing people to get it as Biden
He forced people to pay for it.
Biden. What do you mean?
Donald Trump, yes. Okay, let me prove it. He signed a $6.2 trillion stimulus package, most of which went to big pharma and the big corporations, and we all paid for it the next 3.5 years with taxes. You don't. Hold on a second. Wait. I'm not done. You asked me.
They're giving our tax dollars to illegal immigrants.
I don't disagree with that.
And to put them in
I'm against Biden. I'm against Biden for the same reason I'm against Trump.
The reason he had to do the vaccine was because people were screaming for it.
He didn't have to do the vaccine.
Listen
He didn't have to do the
About
vaccine.
this.
He chose to do
About
it.
Biden's
He chose.
unconstitutional move. I wrote an 18-page
I'm against
research
Biden.
paper.
Everything
to my
Biden has done is wrong.
It was 100 over.
Everything-
Let me finish my sentence.
But you're singing to the
Let
choir.
me finish
I agree
my
with you about
sentence.
Biden and Kamala. I agree with
He wanted to
everything
give
that you're saying
100
about
people-
Biden.
I think it's worth breaking in here to say that I really appreciate this woman's heart and the fact that she's a little more informed than most on the tyrannical acts of Biden and Harris. But it's pretty easy to see that she's not used to talking to somebody who doesn't take an opposite political position. Someone who isn't willing to check into their cult of personality and is actually prepared to look at both parties and both political puppets with an objective and fair eye. See, people like her would rather talk about the tyrannical edicts of Harris so they can run out the clock on any criticism that could equally apply to Trump. The whataboutism doesn't work with somebody who doesn't play the political game, and you can see it all over her face.
OSHA to try to give companies over 100 employees get the shot.
I'm against that.
The
I'm
Supreme
against
Court said it was unconstitutional, and it was.
I'm against it. I'm against Biden.
So what are you talking about? He violates the Constitution every time you turn around.
So does Donald. So
and
did
he
Donald.
calls half of America a
Okay,
threat to
were you-
democracy and domestic terrorists.
That's why I'm against him.
Evil.
That's why I know.
They're socialists. They're Marxists. They're almost
I agree.
communists.
I agree.
They are
I agree.
communists.
I'm not for Biden.
Yes, they are
I'm not for Kamala Harris.
Well, I'm for Trump.
I'm for truth.
Then
I'm
then
for
have,
facts.
You have two choices this election.
No, I don't. I have a third choice. Withdraw my consent from everything that is evil.
And that's going to be a vote for Harris.
No. Oh, so why wouldn't it be a vote for Trump?
Because usually a non-voter will go to the left.
But wait, the Harris people say if you don't vote for Kamala, it's a vote for Trump. The Trump people say if you don't vote for Trump, it's a vote for
Well,
Kamala.
why would
So which
you
one
not
is it?
vote for Trump?
No. Explain explain the logic.
Because if you don't vote for, because what do you mean? Explain your logic. Why you think
Explain
it's
to
not.
me how me not voting is a vote for one or the other, and why would it be a vote for Kamala and not a vote for Trump? Explain your logic. It's
You're probably going to vote for the independent and the independent.
I'm not voting at all. All of them are on the take. All of them are banker puppets. Whether you vote for Kamala or Trump, the Federal Reserve is still in control of the monetary system.
Okay, then what's your suggestion? You just don't vote for anyone?
That we
And you let
create
the country tank?
that we get rid of Washington D.C., the Federal Reserve, the IRS, and all the domestic terror cells that are on our backs. Revalue our dollar in gold and silver, like the founding fathers said it. Go back to sound money, so that we can't have wars, so we can't have a border crisis,
And why
so
do
we
you
can
think
have.
Trump can't do that?
He didn't do the first 4 years. He did the exact opposite.
Regardless, you're going to say he's wrong. If he didn't bring the vaccines, he'd have been wrong. If he did bring the vaccine, he'd have been
Whatever
wrong.
he's done.
Whatever he does, he's wrong. You're still blaming Trump for he ain't even been in office.
Wait a second. That's like me saying. That's like somebody that's wait a minute. If somebody's supporting Kamala and they said you're against Kamala because of
I'm
red
not
flag
against
laws.
Kamala, I just don't agree with
No. I talk to Kamala supporters too, and they don't want to have the discussion with me either because I ask them hard questions. So what they say to me is, you're going to be against Kamala no matter what, even though I itemize exactly why I'm against Kamala. Do you think it's okay to be against the Second Amendment?
No.
Trump is against the Second Amendment.
Well, I tell you what, Trump saved my job when he was in office.
Trump took a lot of jobs when he was in office.
Saved my job when he was in office.
Okay, but what do you say to the tens of millions who lost?
Then, I lost my job. My job moved back to Japan.
What do you say about the tens of millions of Americans who were shut down and barred from going to work? Bartenders, stewardesses, they couldn't work.
I understand that, but it's because it was.
Trying to move up here.
Do you know he put in his Treasury Secretary to work with the Federal Reserve? Steven Mnuchin. Do you know who Steven Mnuchin is? He's a globalist, a Goldman Sachs banker. How is he draining the swamp when he's filling it with swamp creatures?
Because right now, before that, I'm thinking of draining the swamp with the federal agencies that have lawmaking
He
authority.
didn't do it the first time.
But this time, but because the first time he was just in there trying to clean up the mess from Obama.
But he didn't clean it up. He made it worse. He dropped more bombs. Look at the air power summary from the Pentagon. He dropped 10 more bombs per day than Obama did in 8 years.
I disagree.
How about the $8.4 trillion in national debt? Did that help? Did that make America great?
But what about the debt right now?
It's bad, and Biden sucks. And the reason I'm against Biden, and the reason I'm against Biden is the same reason I'm against Trump. But you're for Trump for the same reasons you're against Biden.
You're not gonna, because you don't right now. Your choices are Trump or Biden, basically.
Okay.
You're not going to get what you want because you don't have the power or the money to do it. I'm not disagreeing that the gold standard might be a good idea and that abolishing IRS and all that might be a good idea. You're not going to get it.
You would eliminate. Oh, so because I can't get it, I have to vote for evil?
Trump is not evil. The evil is the left.
Then it's not
It is
evil.
wanting to shred the Constitution.
Criminalizing Americans is not evil?
What do you mean criminalizing Americans?
Do you know Donald Trump instituted a bump stock ban, right? After the Las Vegas shooting, which means 1 to 2 million Americans were criminalized by Donald Trump by making the bump stock ban. Kamala Harris wants to ban assault weapons. Donald Trump banned bump stocks. Both of them achieved the same result. That's criminalizing innocent Americans. Are you for that?
I don't know enough about the bump stock to
Let's say
speak on
true.
that.
Let's say that was true.
I don't know enough about it. I'd have to
all you
research
gotta
that.
know.
I admit when I don't know something, so
Okay.
I'd have to research it.
All there is to know
but
is-
she wants to criminalize. She wants to give illegals the right to vote.
And that's why I'm against her. She has, you know what?
If she gets in power, she'll put conservative Christians in a concentration camp.
Then why you
Probably. You got to understand.
You know what?
I am against-
I'm going to change my mind.
Well, I'm not sitting here trying to change your mind. I just want you to realize that you're.
Nope.
I'm attacking.
No, he's not attacking me. He's got good facts.
I thought we were.
Some of them I can't speak to, but
Thank
I
you.
don't agree with them.
No, thank you
But,
for.
you're not attacking me.
Thank,
You've got good facts.
Thank you. And
I'm just saying, think wisely because your choice. You can't make your choice happen. So I would think Trump is your. If you got to go with if you consider it a lesser of two evils, go with Trump. Please to God, go with Trump.
But if I'm pro Second Amendment, which is shall not be infringed, how can I be for Trump when I know he's against the Second Amendment?
He's not against the Second Amendment.
What do you call a red flag extreme risk protection order that he implemented in 2019? You can go to YouTube right now and hear him say it.
Probably because
The first guy that fell prey to Donald Trump's red flag law was a veteran who got shot at 5:14 in the morning when they initiated it.
No, I'd have to look into that.
In Maryland.
I'd have to look into that.
All you have to do is Google Donald Trump
But
red
he's
flag
not against
laws.
The Second Amendment. They're the what she wants to do a mandatory buyback on guns.
Ma'am, that's just not true. Because you know what?
She wants to do a mandatory buyback on guns.
Oh no, I agree, and that's why I'm against her. Because I'm pro Second Amendment. I hate Kamala Harris. I'm not a Confederate for the Democrat Party. I hate them. They're
Okay.
controlled by AIPAC.
Well, we're going to have to agree to disagree because I'm not going to not support Trump.
Okay, well, can you just look into what I was saying?
Yeah, I can look into the bump stock and I can look at, but it's not going to change my vote this time around.
Okay, well, so basically, he can do unconstitutional things and you'll still vote for
I'd
him.
have to look and see if I think that's unconstitutional. I don't know that you know that either.
Bump stock ban?
Well, you don't know. Are you a constitutional lawyer? I'm a
don't
lawyer,
have
but
to
not
be.
a
All you have to do is
constitutional
just-
lawyer, so I'd have to check with a
4 words,
constitutional lawyer.
shall not be infringed. So anything on top of that is an infringement.
There's exceptions to every, like free speech, there are exceptions. There are times you can curb free speech.
No, there is.
It turns to action.
The government cannot do it.
So I don't know. I'd have to look into it for myself. I'm not taking your word for it.
You know, the Bill of Rights could be called the Bill of Unalienable Rights, right? They weren't given to us. They were God-given. They can't be taken away. They can't be given.
Yeah, but the Bill of Rights is the First Amendment, and you can put time, place, and manner restrictions on the First Amendment.
That's what they say, but that's not in the Constitution. That's extra constitutional.
That's what you call penumbras that the Supreme Court has said years ago.
Yeah, but
you can put time, place, and manner. Like, for instance, if perhaps the Nazis wanted to march in a totally Jewish neighborhood, they could say no to that.
Yeah, that would be unconstitutional.
But that would be maybe they won't. They don't. That's just an example.
But it would be
So
unconstitutional.
I disagree with that. You can put time, place,
Do you
and
think
manner
it's?
restrictions.
Do you think we should put people in jail for burning the American flag?
No, absolutely not.
Donald Trump just said 3 times in the last 4 months that he wants to put people in jail for 12 months for burning the flag.
He backed off on it because
No, he
I
didn't.
heard him say.
No, he didn't.
He said, "I don't think I can do that."
Yeah, he said I don't think, but he wants to. He wants to. That's the heart of a tyrant.
You know, sometimes I'd like to shut him up because he says too much. But he's a lot of his stuff. He talks. The thing I like about him is he says what he's thinking.
Yeah, but the problem is what he's thinking is anti-American.
The fact that you can burn a flag, I support it because it's the First Amendment.
And you know the grave irony of that? It's a China-made American flag.
No, there's actually a company called Allegiance Flags that makes them all.
No, I know. I'm just saying the majority of American flags are Chinese-made.
But he reigned in China the first time and he'll do it again.
You can't rein in China with tariffs. The American businesses and Americans pay for those. So that's another decimation of Americans. So basically, Trump can have these ideas that are absolutely antithetical to the Second Amendment and the Constitution, and people will still vote for him. That's what's wrong with America.
But some people are not necessarily agreeing that they're antithetical to the Second Amendment because some people would have to do.
Bump stock bans are not antithetical to the Second Amendment. Red flag laws are not antithetical to the Second Amendment.
Anybody's word for it.
Did you know that Trump was bailed out by the Rothschilds in the 1990s? If Obama was, that's all I'd need to know about him to know he's hanging from a banker string. Yeah, he's evil.
There is a deep state.
Did you know that Trump was bailed out by the
I
Rothschilds?
know that, but you know what? Can
I just give you the details? Back in 1990, he was upside down with
the Rothschilds, the Vanderbilts, the Rockefellers, and
right, because
I know there's a deep state.
Yeah. But why did Trump collude with them?
He was also a Democrat. He changed his mind. Why do people think Kamala can change her mind and Trump can't?
A Republican or somebody who wants to take guns and criminalize Americans?
I don't agree he wants to do that. I disagree with you on that.
The NRA is absolutely against the Second Amendment. You know, I know that. The only reason that we have background checks is because of the NRA. Wayne LaPierre said that back in 1994. Background checks are against the Second Amendment. GOA is what you want, Gun Owners of America. They're absolutely for the Second Amendment. They want to repeal the 1934 the automatic weapons ban. Are you for Trump?
I'm for Trump. Everybody here is for Trump.
I'm wondering why.
Everybody in this line is voting for Trump.
Well, I'm wondering
Why do you
why.
think not?
You know I'm going to go with the devil I know versus the devil I don't want to know.
That's exactly right.
Wait, what'd you just say? You want to go with the devil you know?
Versus the devil I
That's like voting for the lesser of two evils.
But what I'm saying is you're not going to get what you want.
So what do we do?
Gold
We just
standard
You got to
is-
vote for. I said you got to vote for. You just said you got to vote for somebody. They're literally admitting they're voting for the devil. They're voting for evil, and they're still going to vote. This is and they're admitting it. They know they're doing it.
they don't.
This is beyond cognitive dissonance.
You're missing the point.
You just said the devil you know.
She
I
was
use that with
speaking in
my general.
But you're right. It is the devil you think.
And you're missing the point. I didn't even follow Trump or like him before he ran for president
Why?
in 2016. Because I thought he was a philandering, narcissistic adulterer.
But now he automatically isn't?
No, because I'm not his friend and I'm not having dinner with him and his policies are good for America.
Valentine.
What
Biden
policies?
was on film sniffing little girls.
Wait a second.
And if you look at all the evidence
Okay,
out there, their
Biden-
family should be charged with RICO.
Biden should be in jail. Biden should be hanging from a tree. I don't know what you want me to tell you about Biden. Kamala Harris should be thrown into a wood chipper, okay?
And I'm not saying there's not corruption on every side. And I'm not saying that he was perfect. I'm saying I'm voting for his policies now because I do not want this country to become communist or socialist.
One of his things he takes credit for is shutting down America in April of 2021.
You mean COVID?
Yeah, he shut them. He shut it. He takes
I never
credit
thought-
for.
He closed the border to China because of the flu.
Yeah,
but I never, you know what?
Remember 2 weeks
I think
before the
COVID
spread?
was a political scam.
It was. I agree. I call it a scamdemic. I totally agree.
Nothing needed to be shut down for COVID.
COVID was a scam, but they're still going to vote for the top scammer of COVID.
No, actually, the other side
called
were a scammer.
No, he calls him
Biden's the
saying.
one that wanted to arrest people who didn't get the vax.
No, Donald Trump shut down the country, admits he shut down the country, and calls himself the father of the vaccine. And admits that he gave trillions of dollars to Big Pharma, who's not our friend.
I know. You know what?
Oh my
and I think
God.
the only reason he did that is because he needed to get the vaccine because his constituents were crying for it. Because a lot of them who were conservative, I have a lot of conservative friends who believe the fear of COVID.
Do you understand my concern?
And wanted the vaccine.
Do you understand
I
my
don't like
concern?
Big Pharma.
Do you understand my concern? He does. He loves them. Pfizer posted record profits, $100 billion in 2021 alone, because of Trump. I don't want to dog you. I really appreciate you. You really hung in there. I really appreciate it.
I do understand
And
what you're saying, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, I know. I'm not going to change your mind.
I have a choice between Harris or him.
Yeah. I understand that.
My choice for president would have been Ben Carson.
I understand that that's what you think. You don't have just two choices. They want you to think that, but it's an illusion of choice.
But we're not strong enough to get what you want. Gold and silver is biblical. I will agree with that.
Well, it's constitutional too. Well, thank you. What's your name? I'm Brian.
I'm Kathy.
The name of the channel is Here's the Deal. I appreciate your dialogue. I truly do.
You do have some good points.
Thank you.
But I mean,
I feel like you've been the most fair out here so far.
If I don't know something, I will say that. You do have some good points. It's just that I don't think you have the power to get what you want.
It's not about the power.
And, if you try for what you want, you're going to get worse. You're going to get Harris.
No. Wait a second, though. But the power is in doing right? Regardless of, look, I'm against the masses. I am literally against the masses. Are you
Christian?
Do you know what Matthew 7 says? The road is narrow that leads to salvation, and few there be that find it. This is a wide road.
No, but that's why I'm more aligning with Trump, because the other side wants to kill babies even after they're born. And Waltz has done that in his state.
And you got to understand, I'm against that.
They also say that the LGBTQ, they say that a girl can be a boy and a boy can be a girl.
Yeah, that's evil.
And
it's just
Harris, when she was DA in California, she got money for a prisoner to have transgender.
Yeah, it's decoupling from reality. Yeah, I totally agree with you on that.
So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If I had tons of money and tons of power, I would have probably run myself.
But you know what's more powerful than doing what mainstream media wants you to do? Mainstream media, I don't care if it's Fox News or CNN, they want you to vote. Democrats want you to vote. Why?
So what's your solution?
Not vote. But listen, it's a demoralization campaign. You're literally voting for a guy you know is going to do evil.
No, I don't know that. I said I don't know.
But he did it 2016 to 2020.
I don't agree he did that in 2016.
He worked for the bankers.
We love Trump.
Hey, I appreciate you.
No, I don't think
I appreciate her fervor.
And I appreciate your points, and I'm not saying you don't have some good ones. But I mean, what are you going to do in 13 days?
I'm going to do what's right.
Well, so tell me what's your plan?
I'm going to not vote for evil. Because if they drop bombs, it's going to be without my consent. If they work for the bankers, it's going to be without my consent. If they fill the swamp, it's going to be without my consent.
And that's fair enough. That's your right.
All right. Well, thanks. I appreciate it.
That's your right. No, I mean, I appreciate that. At least I commend you for recognizing the evils of the left.
Thank you.
So, and I can look into bump stock and things like that. I can research it.
Okay.
If I'm wrong about something, I'll admit it.
My channel is Here's the Deal.
Here's the Deal.
Yeah, it'll be the first.
I look at all different.
It's on YouTube, so.
Okay.
Yeah, and if you want, reach out to me. I'll email you.
Here's the Deal.
Yeah.
And Brian.
Well,
thank you for listening to me.
Thank you.
I like Kathy. I love all these people. At the same time, we got to realize that we've all been indoctrinated so completely, and the learned helplessness has become so much a part of who many of us are that I think these people genuinely cannot see the contradiction of their own political stand or the fact that their vote of support for either psychopath on either side that's presented to us by the banker-funded uniparty system is really a humiliation, demoralization ritual that helps to maintain the power and the illusion of the people on top of the human food chain. But leave your thoughts. Check out my other videos and our visits to the Helene-devastated North Carolina areas. And if you disagree with anything you've seen in these videos, leave a comment. Be sure to subscribe, hit the bell notification icon so you can get all my latest uploads. Give the video a like and share it with everybody you know. I'll see you in the next video.